We're talking about her, but
Imagine being a teenager and you are in so much trouble that your mum takes you on the infamous Dr. Phil show. Well, this is what happened to Danielle, who later on goes on to become Bhad Bhabie. And this story is going to be about the troubles she faced in her life, and it is just going to prove that money cannot supply happiness for you. By the end of the video, I reckon you are going to feel sorry for Bhad Bhabie, and you might even wish that what she's going through is not happening to her, as I do. Danielle was born in 2003, and in her very young years, her mum and dad would get divorced, and she would be brought up by her mum, Barbara. And then fast forward to 2007, and Barbara discovers that she has breast cancer. During this difficult time, Danielle's grandmother ends up looking after Danielle, and she's not the disciplinarian that her mother is. And to be honest, grandmothers aren't. I definitely don't tell my grandchildren off as much as I did my own children, that's for sure. Also, during this time, Danielle admits and speaks freely about the fact that she went through a traumatic experience between the ages of 3 to 6 years old, and it is one that no child of any age should ever have to go through.
Not a lot of people know this, but I also went through some real terrible things that nobody in my family knew about from the ages of 3 to 6. And
recording of Danielle admitting what had happened to her didn't come out for many years later, but it does explain why she acted out in the way that she did. Not only is Danielle a massive handful for her mother, but she also has problems at school. And believe it or not, she's very intelligent, and she went to a school for gifted students, but she got into trouble there, and then she got excluded. And then she was sent to a mainstream school, and she got into trouble there as well. And this is what sometimes happens to people who are very intelligent. They do their work, they get it all done, and then they disrupt the rest of the class because they're bored and the other students are still doing their work. I've actually got a daughter that went through something similar, so I know exactly how this works. And then she was sent to a school for troubled children, just as my daughter was. And to be honest, that didn't help at all. It didn't help my daughter, and it certainly didn't help Danielle, because she just mixed with the wrong kind of people there and got into even more trouble than she had before she started going there. And now we're going to fast forward to Danielle going on the Dr. Phil show, and this is where all of the fame comes from. After Danielle is on the Dr. Phil show, she gets sent to a troubled teen program, which is paid for by the Dr. Phil program. And then this is where all of the fame starts. Because while she's in this troubled teen program, the memes all come out of her famous catchphrase that she said on the Dr. Phil show, the catch me outside, and that makes her go viral and become extremely famous. But because she is inside this troubled teen program, she knows absolutely nothing about this because she has no access to the internet in there.
everybody knows.
Imagine being 13 years old and you've just walked out of this camp that you've been in for 180 days, and you turn on social media and your face is absolutely everywhere and millions of people are talking about you. It must have been so hard for her to deal with. When Danielle comes out of Turnabout Ranch, she is invited back on the Dr. Phil show, but this time without an audience.
You've gotten a lot of attention on the internet since you were here. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Both.
What's good about it?
Well, I guess what's good for you is I made you just like how Oprah made you. You were nothing before I came on this show.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Are you going to pursue kind of a internet image?
Yeah, I guess so.
As long as it doesn't interfere with who you really are.
Oh, of course.
The next chapter in Danielle's life is when she becomes the famous rapper Bhad Bhabie, and her 15 minutes of fame lasts a hell of a lot longer than just 15 minutes. Because a guy called Adam Kluger contacts her about being a rapper.
Adam was like, oh, okay, well, I want to fly you to LA. Like, he's like, you have an opportunity to make money, you know, like promotions and stuff. Everyone thinks you're just a badass little kid. Nah, you can end up being something, like make something out of this. Don't go out sad like that.
There's one thing we really need to take into consideration at this point, and that is the fact that Danielle is still only 13 years old, and now she is becoming this famous rapper called Bhad Bhabie. And she has some really good hit songs that put her on the Billboard 100. And that is an amazing feat for someone of her age, considering everything she's been through in her younger life.
Bro, call you look like you sick. Slide on a beat like it's slick. Bitch, don't compare me to Iggy that I always washing. I'm lit, wouldn't pay her to wash up my whip. Bye, bro, bitch. Bye, ho. White J's, white Porsche, white rig.
Even though Danielle is now a massive rapper, her problems don't end there. And now we're fast forwarding to the age of 15, and Danielle gets into lots of fights, some with other famous stars, some with just random people on aeroplanes, and her troubles don't end there either, because it is alleged that Danielle's mum had control of all of Danielle's money because she is obviously not an adult, and it is alleged that her mum spent it all. So what does Danielle do next? One of her famous rapper friends unfortunately loses his life.
Developing right now, a search for a killer in South Florida after an up-and-coming rapper is shot dead. 20-year-old XXXTentacion killed in an apparent robbery.
It's so crazy to me how someone can work so hard for something and it can be taken from them so fast. And there's nothing you can do with one movement now.
When Danielle turns 18, she decides that she's turning her back on all of her rapping fame, although it had brought her many millions of dollars and public adoration. And she decides that she is going to start an OF page instead.
I still think it's weird, but at the same time, 18 is 18, and that's what they said it was, so that's what they said it was. Do I think it's 1,000,000,000% okay? No. But at the same time, it's like, here they're gonna find it somewhere.
we're talking about her, but we're not that there were hundreds of thousands of men that were waiting for this. So let's stop talking about her and start talking about the fact that there is a market there that is so primed that in 6 hours you can extract $1 million from it. Tell me where else you can find that.
Bhad Bhabie makes $1 million in only 6 hours of opening her OnlyFans, which means that people had been waiting for years for this to happen, and all of their birthdays came at once. And in her first year on OnlyFans, she makes an astonishing $54 million, and that's what she continues to do to this day. But is her life all a bed of roses? Well, actually, no, it's not, because two massive things happened just recently that put a massive dampener on her life. Trigger warning here for physical abuse, and I am going to have to block out most of this video, but you will get to see some parts of it, and I'll make it make sense after you've seen it. That's Bhad Bhabie's partner and her baby daddy allegedly giving her a black eye. And all of these clips have been deleted, and Danielle said that she only put these clips out because she was trying to get her partner to take responsibility for what he had done and to get himself help. And she said that she's not going to leave him. Well, that could be a whole new video talking about what I think about that. Do I think he's going to change? Probably not. Do I think he's going to take advantage of her for the rest of her life and keep beating on her? Yes, because she says normally it's not that bad, so therefore that suggests that's not going to change. And that is a really bad situation to be in, but obviously she has to make her own decisions. It's not up to the rest of us, regardless of what we think. You know, we can all put our opinions out there, but we're not living that life. But there is still worse to come. It now appears at the age of 21 that Danielle is fighting cancer. Now, her mum has fought it twice and won, so I'm only hoping that Danielle can fight it and win, as well, as she has a very young child. And like I said at the beginning of this video, she may have millions of dollars in the bank, but that does not necessarily buy you happiness, and it will never ever buy you health. Well, Danielle, I wish you all the best. I hope you come through this unscathed, and I hope you manage to figure out the right way to live your life where you are not being physically abused. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now.